What up, crypto warriors? It's Sergeant Crypto back at it again. Today is Wednesday, January 23rd, 2019. Read a Medium article today, and it made a very convincing case as to why Bitcoin could eventually get to $10 million per Bitcoin. So for the heavy bag holders out there, future billionaires and trillionaires, wow. All right, so the reason behind it is their argument is a $10 million Bitcoin could and would solve the world's debt problem. All right, but before we get into that, let's take a quick peek at what's happening in the markets. Top 15 coins, no major movement, not even over the past 24 hours. Everything's pretty much moving sideways. And Bitcoin dominance is at 52%. All right, market cap right now, $120 billion, $120.9 billion, and Bitcoin's market cap is 63 billion. So let's have a quick look at the world's debt clock. Top 10 countries. USA, of course, 21.9. Excuse me. China is up next, and this is in order of gross domestic product, not debt, because if it was in Japan would be number 2. But it's in order of GDP, as you can see, and it's growing every second. This is ours again, broken down individually into sections, and yeah, it's a little crazy. And like I've stated in the past, when I do these videos with the world debt clock, it is a major issue. It is a major issue, and this, I think, will be the catalyst, or what's going to cause the next financial crisis, because they just keep kicking the can down the road, so to speak. And with the financial crisis of 2008, 2009, they didn't fix anything. They just kicked the can down the road and then pass it on to the next administration, which again was Obama's administration, and he passed it along now to Trump. All right. So with that being said, oh yeah, and also with the last financial crisis, no one went to jail and bankers got paid crazy bonuses, and we bailed out big banks and all that stuff. You know the story. All right. Hence, we have a big Bitcoin nowadays because of that. All right, so here it is. The Long and Winding Road to a $10 million Bitcoin. Written by Lucid Investment Strategies, D. Tyler Jenks, and Leah Wall. All right. Tyler Jenks, he's the person that developed the hyperwave theory. I don't think it's a theory anymore because it's been proven over and over again. And in 2017, with Bitcoin's meteoric rise from $1,000 all the way up to 20,000, he called it and basically cashed out right at the top because he called it and he saw it. And now he's calling for a $10 million Bitcoin, and he's going to make this case right here. But for Bitcoin to reach $10 million, it's going to have a little times to get there as far as a bumpy road. All right, so our premise: we contend the world financial system has journeyed down an unsustainable path where unconstrained debt growth has become uncontrollable. We believe that this condition will be resolved in one of 5 ways. In general, each of these 5 solutions eliminates the other 4. The 5 solutions are: 1, a Bitcoin standard; 2, a gold standard; 3, a new commodity currency basket; 4, economic growth; and 5, default on sovereign debt. I call it death. All right, in this series of 5 articles, we will examine each of these 5 solutions. In this first article, we will examine Bitcoin as a solution to the world debt problem. According to the Institute of International Finance, the total world debt is roughly estimated to be $247 trillion by the 2018 year end. The total world wealth was estimated to be $317 trillion, but most significantly, the total world debt increased 394% over the past 20 years, from 50 trillion to 247 trillion, while total world wealth increased 133% over the same time period. Now, I'm not going to be reading this to you guys like your kids and I'm reading you a bedtime story. However, I will be picking out certain parts. All right. So the relevant numbers, these are difficult numbers to come by and even more difficult to assess. So I'm just highlighting, different parts here. World gross domestic product is estimated to be $80 trillion. All right, and this is how it's broken down by 10 biggest contributors. Again, this will be linked in the description below. All right, according to the Credit Suisse Global Wealth Report, the total world wealth is $317 trillion. And here it is again, broken down by nation. According to Savills World Research, the total world real estate is estimated to be $228 trillion. According to the CIA World Factbook, the world money is estimated to be $80 trillion. China with 25 trillion. US coming right in a far second at 14 trillion. And we scroll down again. The world stock market capitalization is approximately $73 trillion. The prior high was in 2007, before the financial crisis, at $65 trillion. Total sovereign wealth fund assets are $7.5 trillion. Boom, broken down again. According to Willis Towers Watson's Think Ahead Institute, the total value of pension funds in the world, the 300 largest, is approximately $18.1 trillion. The top 20 funds account for 41.1% of the total. Out of the 300 largest pension funds, here it is broken down again by the countries, and the 10 largest pension funds in the world. All right, again broken down by countries, and I highlighted this one because this is a state. So California, they have the largest pension fund in the United States. All right, the California public employees, $0.3 trillion. The total value of mutual funds in the world is approximately 40 trillion. All right, the total exchange funds, traded funds, ETFs, the one we've been waiting for an ETF, right? In the world is 5 trillion. Yes, And the total value of hedge funds in the world, 3.1 trillion. All right, according to the World Gold Council, the total world gold supply is approximately $7.5 trillion. This assumes that a total gold supply of 187,200 metric tons. All right, only a small percentage of this is held by individual countries. The following 20 are the largest. All right, here we go. Boom. And some conspiracy theorists think that the US don't even have the gold that they claim they have, but we won't get into that. All right, so in the observation, again, these numbers are not inclusive, but we believe they are adequate. We welcome additions, deletions, and corrections. All right, but just putting it out there for themselves. And Bitcoin as a solution to the debt problem. So here it is. If Bitcoin climbs to $10 million per Bitcoin, it could provide the world community with a stable currency, replace sovereign currencies, act as a reserve currency of the world, incapable of inflation or deflation. It would represent the ultimate store of value. So there it is. And then right there in this section, they break it down, what Bitcoin is, Satoshi's white paper, all that good stuff, blah, blah, blah. Talk about altcoins and that basically they're crap. And the road ahead. And in this part, he breaks down, Bitcoin is a market-driven asset, the most democratic market-driven asset in history. Its price movement is based on pure supply and demand economics. Its supply is fixed, a known quantity. The only variable is the price equation. In the price equation is demand. When demand rises, so does the price. When it falls, so does the price. And we saw that in 2017 and in 2018. And here it is, today's price. So let's get to the juicy stuff. You know, what will the road ahead look like? Here's our roadmap. When the final bottom is in, which we believe will be below $1,000, the road will be clear up to $6,000, and then they talk about resistance at 7,500, 8,500, and then again another resistance at between 10,100 and 11,100, and then another resistance level again at 13,750, and then at 17,500, and then breaking new highs at 9,666. Funny number there. All right, and then basically saying from that point on, it's just going to be FOMO into the market, because again, Bitcoin will be at all-time highs. The CNBCs, Bloomberg's, Fox Business, all that stuff is going to be talking about Bitcoin, praising Bitcoin, and people are just going to FOMO in. All right, and then at that point, they believe, that Bitcoin market dominance, capitalization wise, will be 90%, and only 10% of the market will belong to altcoins. Then they talk about it going up and challenging gold. All right, gold assets, 7.5 trillion, represent an important potential demand for Bitcoin. We believe that the single most important barrier to Bitcoin's price is overtaking the value of the gold supply. At $100,000, Bitcoin begins to challenge gold as a store of value. We believe that gold investors will not be reluctant to make this switch. Assets begin to move from gold to Bitcoin, slowly at first, then rapidly. Then that pushes the price up to $400,000. And then once it reaches a $400,000 Bitcoin, we will see $1 million Bitcoin. And again, once we reach $1 million Bitcoin, pretty much sky's the limit. Once we reach those highs, we'll have all sorts of institutional FOMO, worldwide FOMO, and just pushing Bitcoin all the way up, to that $10 million mark. And with that $10 million mark, Bitcoin's market cap will be $18 trillion. Just Bitcoin alone. This is not including the whole I should say, coin market cap as far as cryptocurrencies are concerned. Just Bitcoin. Will that happen? I don't know. Reading this article, I definitely think that he presents, or I keep saying he, like he's the only one that wrote it. They present a valid case and a valid point that Bitcoin can reach up to $10 million. I sure as hell hope so, right? But I don't know. It just seems very out there. Will the world governments adopt Bitcoin though and use it to solve the debt crisis that we're in right now? I don't know about that. I could definitely see some kind of reset happening. I don't know if they'll trust Bitcoin to get them that high. I mean, to solve that problem. All right, I'm gonna read this last bit right here because I think this definitely is important. I'll highlight it in front of you guys. So what would a Bitcoin standard look like? The Bitcoin Standard by Seferdine Amos is a good book. I think you should read it. Provides a detailed framework of previous reserves against sovereign fiat. The subtitle, The Decentralized alternative to central banking indicates his major objective in writing this book. Ask yourself, who then would own Bitcoin? The answer, if we assume a $10 million Bitcoin, is central banks, the banking system, large institutions, and sovereign wealth funds. How did they get it? They bought it from you. Don't sell your Bitcoin, basically, is what he's saying, right? Just, hold on for dear life, man. You'll hodl the shit out of it. I don't know. Everybody has their own price, and that they see themselves cashing out at. All right, but this is how they're going to get their Bitcoin. They have to get it from somewhere, because there's only 21 million that's ever going to be in existence. And by this time, when Bitcoin reaches back to its all-time highs of $20,000, the mining difficulty is going to increase so much. Can you imagine when it reaches $10 million? Like, come on, man. It's going to be crazy to try to mine Bitcoin then. And, if you're not getting in now, again, this is not financial advice, except if you're a family member, then it definitely is financial advice. You need to get into Bitcoin now. All right. Yeah, if you're not getting in now, all right, the potential gains that's bound to come, it's life-changing. I don't know no other way to say it. It's life-changing. So yes, I definitely hope that Bitcoin will reach these crazy, phenomenal numbers of $10 million per Bitcoin. However, according to them, it has to drop down to $1,000 or below $1,000 per Bitcoin for them to get in. I don't know when the bottom is when we're going to reach the bottom. So my suggestion is to dollar cost average. You wait all the way down, and then boom, once we start pumping back up, continue to just fill your bags. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. Bitcoin is divisible up to 8 decimal points. You could buy Bitcoin, at $10 increments or whatever the case is. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. And yeah, get in, man. Get in while the getting is good, because these institutions, they're getting and loading up their bags currently right now as we speak, over the counter trading, all right, buying it all up. And the rich will continue to get richer, and they're going to leave us behind, man. So you definitely have to get in now, I think. Again, this is not financial advice for strangers, but for my family, hell yes. Hell yeah. This is your boy, man, Sergeant Crypto. Let me know what you guys think about the case of this $10 million Bitcoin. I definitely like this read, and will be it solving the debt crisis that we're in currently. I don't think that it will, the world's governments will adopt Bitcoin to have it be the be all end all, right? However, I definitely think that this article does, point out some great points, and yeah, that's it. Trying to end here. Thanks for watching. If you stayed with me all this time, please subscribe, smash up those likes, hit again that subscribe button and the notification bell, and please share. Peace.